So long, my friends, I'll see you again. It pains me to be here without Lynn. My time has come, mine so cumbersome, filled with whiskey, filled with sin, trampled down, this storm surround. Time to leave this broken town. So long, my folks, how the story goes. I can't look back from moving on. I'll take my time saying my goodbyes. I'm reminded of the times my father cried. I flew just like a bottle, gracefully to the dirt beneath, trampled down, this storm's around. It's time to leave. It's time to leave this broken town. I'll take this road, however far it goes, and I'll drown my woes in every bar it holds. This bitter end left a bitter man. My sweetness left last summer's end. I flew just like a bottle, gracefully to the dirt beneath, trampled down, this storm surround. Time to leave this broken town, trampled down, this storm surround. Time to leave. Time to leave. Time to leave this broken town. Time to leave this broken town. Time to leave this broken town. My heart, pumping all day long. Get me to morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. I'll bear it. It takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My my heart pumping all day long. When the evening comes, please stay strong. Give me the morning when darkness falls. My heart, my heart. I found victory in the clouds of love from the day we wed, and those vows to hold true. Nothing's gonna tear me down until the day I'm dead. My heart belongs to you. I'm a heart, just this time. Put your faith within. I'm a heart that you'll find what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a heart, just this time. Put your faith within. I'm a heart that you'll find what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a heart, just this time. Put your faith within. I'm a heart that you'll find what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a heart, just this time. Put your faith within. I'm a heart that you'll find what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a When it's always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own. Life, it isn't always grand, but when you finally take that stand, you become a man. You needed to become. You meant everything to me. While you left, I could not see. I guess people just do what they want. Time, it goes faster every day, and my heart, it leads the way, while the future, it fades into a memory. Is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own.
of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
As the world watches and listens in horror, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering do or die around me. You say your last good night while I get
There is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
The ammunition used by Psywar.
Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
gripping at my skin, the walls of night closing.
but the use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form.
As I wait to say my last goodbye.
These are the Psywar soldiers.
Caught Up is an echo chamber for content creators. Almost all content on this show, Caught Up, is created by citizen journalists. I share content created by citizen journalists whom I believe to be the best at finding facts buried deep into the abyss, or outlets whom I believe to be the best for verifiable information. We have to operate within their system, and we only have the information they allow us to have. These individuals who nerd out on fact-finding missions and then add their opinion to better inform me, to make the best choice for me, in this war of narratives is Resolute. This information war is a battle for your mind and ultimately compliance. Mainstream media would have you believe that an echo chamber promotes the spread of misleading information or fake news, thereby reinforcing one's confirmation bias. So, I am excited to share the content in hopes you will turn off mainstream media, whom I believe is just another version of entertainment. So again, welcome to Caught Up.
I would like to apologize to tonight's audience and the viewers at home. We will not be airing the Steve Ducey cooking segment tonight. We apologize to Mr. Ducey, but you'll still be able to get his new book, Cooking with Crisco, for free. Instead, we have a very special show tonight, so let's welcome our guest. She's still quite humorous with a fetus in her uterus. New York Times best-selling author, Fox contributor, Captain. She's from San Francisco, but still appreciates indoor plumbing. Co-host of Outnumbered, Emily Campagno. His deltoid can deflect an asteroid. New York Times best-selling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion, Tyrus. And he loves Diet Coke, but hates the woke, choosing this insanity over Sean Hannity. Let's crank it up to 11 for President 45 and 47. The man who fighting out of the red corner from Queens, New York, the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. There you go. So, Mr. P, how's your golf game?
Well, haven't been thinking about it too much lately. I always said golf is a very dangerous game.
It really is. It really is, especially if they're playing with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's
what? That was a mean joke.
Pretty sad.
Did you? If they had told you that the shooter was there, would you have tried to take him out with your 3-wood?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. If I knew. Actually, the Secret Service did a great job. They saw the barrel of a gun, big gun.
Yeah.
And it came out through bushes. And how many people would see that? You know, he really was very exceptional to have done it. And we've been going through a lot of it. We're getting very good at it, but I don't want to say that too loudly because we don't want to bring any jinxes along, Tyrus. Right? But it's
it is.
I mean, at least he could have yelled 4.
Yeah.
This is not a good thing to have practice at.
No.
Like, we're getting really good at stopping assassinations of Donald Trump.
All right, guys. I gotta get myself unmuted here. Can I get it right now? All right, God. Yeah. I'm unmuted now. Anyway, welcome to Caught Up, episode 41. A little bit of a delay, and I was trying to get Gubfield, the show, to begin. Anyway, Trump on Greg Gubfield. It's amazing what he's done here lately with everything social media. Look how many podcasts he's gone on here recently that he hasn't done in the past. He's reaching a different group of people basically by going in the direction like that he is, basically, which isn't characteristic to normal politics. I think, you know, it's not like the traditional just debate and newspaper and sit down town hall type meetings, things like that. He's reaching out, he's getting in these podcasts, and he pops up on the Greg Gutfield show, and he's doing all kinds of other things, which is really good. So before the show ends, we'll finish airing that. It's only 9 more minutes, I believe, and what he does and what he says is pretty cool. So tonight's show specifically, we're going to get into a little bit of CISA again. I mean, here we are getting closer and closer to the elections, and they're putting out these bulletins all over again. And they're involved in things that they shouldn't be involved with. And when it directly relates to our elections, that's a big deal because everything they get their fingers on, they destroy or they damage in some way possible. And so we'll go into a little bit of that, the articles. And the other thing is about the Georgia election thing. We'll get into a little bit of that and all the other outlets that are saying the different things. My channel, Resolute Exposure, and the show Caught Up being an echo chamber, I was told that the echo chamber wasn't a pretty word, because you know how things are, and people, the things that they say in this woke society that we belong in, that an echo chamber was bad. It was confirmation bias. It was all those kinds of things. And so I want to make sure that my show is opposite of what they say. So when I give out the information that we go through Epoch Times, we go through Gateway Pundit, The Guardian, The Hill, the Patriot Post, Washington Post, if they'll let us from time to time, New York Times, and that is a well-rounded group, and mostly left-leaning. You'd have to say that the Gateway Pundit is probably right-leaning, and maybe Epoch Time is a little bit more center, but a little bit more right, and then the rest are all left, and that is one opinion whatsoever. So in my video that I made, that talks about this echo chamber and what it is, it's about me sharing information from all those outlets who I believe to be verifiable. I don't necessarily believe that The Hill and all of these are always completely verifiable, because they don't always give us their links. They just give opinions a lot of times, and where Epoch Times and Gateway Pundit, they do offer up a lot of links for the verifiable information, so that they can get it to us, and we can search for ourselves. And so I want to share this one more time. Just take a listen to this one more time.
Caught Up is an echo chamber for content creators. Almost all content on this show, Caught Up, is created by citizen journalists. I share content created by citizen journalists whom I believe to be the best at finding facts buried deep into the abyss, or outlets whom I believe to be the best for verifiable information. We have to operate within their system, and we only have the information they allow us to have. These individuals who nerd out on fact-finding missions and then add their opinion to better inform me, to make the best choice for me, in this war of narratives is Resolute. This information war is a battle for your mind and ultimately compliance. Mainstream media would have you believe that an echo chamber promotes the spread of misleading information or fake news, thereby reinforcing one's confirmation bias. So, I am excited to share the content in hopes you will turn off mainstream media, whom I believe is just another version of entertainment. So again, welcome to Caught Up.
So that is me. I made that. That was my statement that I created when I created the show. That is a long time ago, and I was trying to find a way to incorporate some video and this, that, and the other. It gives you a select group of whatever. A lot of Badlands media, obviously, but there's X22 on there, and so on and so forth. But I'm trying to separate what they would claim an echo chamber is or is not, and so we're going to be fair, and I am going to do my best to make sure that I'm giving as much of the truth as possible whatsoever. I would rather be late and be honest than early and dishonest. So anyway, that's my rant. Guys, we have a thumbs up. We have a live chat going, and you can get in there in just a second. We'll get into the content. We'll get into a little bit of what DPH on Wednesday had to say about this election interference, basically, and exactly what Trump comes out with, and all that good stuff like that. So bear with me here. You see me looking over. I kind of changed up some stuff, but anyway, got more than just a laptop. I have a monitor too, so we're growing up. You know what I mean? We are growing up here. I'm caught up, so we'll go right here.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from the whole assassination attempt, whether it was actually directly associated with IC stuff, we haven't gotten evidence of that yet. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. These people want him dead. But it's the media reaction to all this. Like their framing of the whole thing is it was an apparent attempt, alleged attempt.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, you have, Goldman going on TV on an interview saying the day of, like, Trump still needs to be eliminated. And Hillary Clinton, like, why aren't you guys consistent about your narratives of Trump and how big of a threat he is? These people didn't shy away from tripling down on their rhetoric surrounding Trump and how big of a threat he is. And so I anticipate that we have not seen the last assassination attempt story. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they are so desperate to make sure that this guy doesn't get into office. And when you continue to see stuff like this, it just reminds me that if they're willing to assassinate him or try to assassinate him, they're willing to steal an election. They're willing to do other things as well to prevent him from getting into office. So this is a form of election interference. The 2022 intelligence community, ICA, included assassinations in their definition. Well, another form of an election interference has kind of recently taken place. And it's not even recently. It's been for a while now. But Trump first talked about it in his speech tonight, and he's been hammering it hard on Truth Social. But listen to this.
Because they were ready to make a deal, except we had an election that was rigged and stolen. And look at what's happening to our world now. But no, Iran hacked into my campaign. I don't know what the hell they found. I'd like to find out. Couldn't have been too exciting. But they gave it to the Biden campaign. I can't believe it. Oh, yes, I can. But this is really foreign election interference. This is real election interference, not the phony crap that they've been trying to pin on me with Russia, Russia, Russia for years. Whatever happened to Russia, Russia, Russia? Remember the 51 intelligence agents? They said, no, no, the laptop from hell, it's Russia. No, it was Hunter.
Yeah, there he directly says it. This is foreign election interference. And that's notable to me. He's talked about election interference many times. I don't know if I can remember a single instance. And if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. But I personally can't remember a time where he specifically phrased it like that. Foreign election interference. And
it is interesting.
It's notable. Go ahead.
It's pretty good what they say right there. Trump is mostly right about everything that he comes out with, and we know that foreign interference in our elections has been going on for a long time. The Democrats have complained about it in the past, and it just amazes me. It amazes me what over time what they will try to get you to buy into. So, for example, 2020 election was the most secure election ever. But 2016 was not. 2016 was supposed to be Hillary Clinton's election, not Donald Trump's, and Trump won it, so therefore there was election interference on so many different levels and all the ways that they tried to make it. And there's shows and lots of shows that go over the facts that all of that was all mostly bought by the Hillary Clinton and DNC campaign. But they'll have you believe that what happened in 2016 was real, really stolen, but what happened in 2020 was not. And then here we are, doing this all over again in 2024, and they're doing everything they can to work as hard as they can to make sure that the people don't get what they want. It's Friday. and it's probably been almost a week since the second attempted assassination, and all the shows and narratives and this, that, and the other. But if you go back and look, the news would have you believe that Donald Trump created that he did that to himself, and that's not the case. That's not even remotely close to the case. And so it makes no sense to me that an attempted assassination, which they stopped, is a conspiracy theory. But the election isn't. It makes no sense what they would try to have us to believe, right? So anyway, we are gonna get into this right here, just exactly what he said, Donald Trump, okay, and how them guys elaborated on it. What he said, Donald Trump, okay. All right. So this is CISA's official website here, guys. Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency. This is CISA's official website here. And this is what they point out in a joint ODNI, FBI, and CISA statement, September 18th, on election security. Washington, D.C. Today, the Office of Director of National Intelligence, the ODNI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, and Cyber and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, released the following statement. Since August 19, 2024, those three agencies' public statement on Iranian election influence efforts. The FBI has learned additional details about Iran's efforts to sow discord and shape the outcome of U.S. elections. Isn't that what just our former president Donald Trump said just a second ago in that little video? Iranian malicious cyber actors in late June and early July sent unsolicited emails to individuals then associated with President Biden's campaign and contained an excerpt taken from stolen non-public material from former President Trump's campaign as text. In the emails, there is currently no information indicating those receipts replied. Furthermore, Iranian malicious cyber actors have been continued their efforts since June to send stolen non-public material associated with former President Trump's campaign to U.S. media organizations. The malicious cybersecurity activity is the latest example of Iran's multi-pronged approach, as noted in the joint August statement, to stoke discord and undermine confidence in our local electoral process. As the lead for threat response, the FBI has been tracking this activity, has been in contact with the victims, and will continue to investigate and gather information in order to pursue and disrupt the threat actors responsible. Foreign actors are increasing their election influence activities as we approach November. In particular, Russia, Iran, and China are trying by some measure to exacerbate divisions in the U.S. society for their own benefit and see election periods as moments of vulnerability. Efforts by these or foreign actors to undermine our democratic institutions are a direct threat to the U.S. and will not be tolerated. That's from the ODNI, ladies and gentlemen. That's from CISA. That's from FBI. That's a joint statement that they said that. And why did they say that? Trump, in that video, didn't Trump, let's look at this right here. Let's look
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from the whole
this right here. Hang on, guys. They want to talk again. What's that? It says September 18th, 2024. Same day as this. His is 9:48. Doesn't give a time when CISA put this article out. I will tell you though, how many of you actually get up and look up at CISA and see what they have on their page? So, what's it say? Wow, just out, the FBI caught Iran spying on my campaign and giving all the information to Kamala Harris' campaign. Therefore, she and her campaign were illegally spying on me, to be known as the Iran case. Will she resign in disgrace from politics, or will the communist left pick a new candidate to replace her? You think somebody was trying to get in front of that? I don't know. I don't know when you woke up and read that. It just, it's pretty amazing that, yeah, he would say something and this thing, it all becomes common knowledge again, right? CISA. Everything they put their hands on, they destroy. They should not be involved in our election infrastructure at all. But we'll carry on. This one says cease and desist. Cease and desist. Together with many attorneys and legal scholars, and watching the sanctity of the 2024 presidential election very closely, because I know better than most the rampant cheating and skullduggery that has taken place by the Democrats in the 2020 presidential election. It was a disgrace to our nation. Therefore, the 2024 election, where votes have just started being cast, will be under the closest professional scrutiny. When I win, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences, so that the depravity of justice does not happen again. We cannot let our country further devolve into a third world nation, and we won't. Please be aware that the signal exposure extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors, illegal voters, and corrupt election officials. Those involved in unscrupulous behavior will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels, unfortunately, never seen before in our country. Pretty powerful there. Pretty powerful. Political operatives. He knows what he's talking about. He's been down this path already. He's got the things, we hope, in place to make sure that those things don't happen again ever the same way. So far, we're on par to make sure that doesn't happen this go round. We're ahead of the game, so to speak, so it's crazy. So let's look at some of the things that they have sent out in a bulletin to, election committees. As you can see, this is election infrastructure cybersecurity readiness. And it's right here, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Do you see the logo? My cursor can't highlight it. Let's see. Can I do that? No. Okay, but it's right there. And it goes on. Readiness and Resilience Checklist. And that's what it is. It's a security checklist. And here's the introduction. It's a review. And it tells you what it was. And guess what? It's asking... It is asking that right here, the following checklist was designed to help election security officials and their IT teams to quickly review existing cybersecurity practices to protect against some of the most common threats like ransomware and distributed denial of service, DDoS attacks, and to take steps to enhance your organization's cybersecurity. So here's this checklist that they got. It's only 4, but watch. It's have you enabled multi-factor authentication on all accounts? Turn on MFA on all accounts, right? Authentication, multi-factor authentication, right? Because that's the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Ensure each access has its own unique credentials and do not allow or credential sharing. Have you enabled domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance, DMARC, for all email accounts? Is email filtered to protect against malicious content? Does your election staff only use official email accounts for official business? Right? But we're not on the internet. Have you trained your staff to spot and report it phishing and other suspicious emails? Have you spoken with your website service and internet providers about preparation and response to the DDoS incident? This is where they're going to try to tell you that our cybersecurity, we were attacked. It was, guys, if we're being honest and we're game theorying some things around here, we got to pretend that they're going to bombard us on election day or leading up to election day, some sort of cyber attack, something, right? If that's not it, then there's some other game in play. I would say that there is not a wrong answer. Probably whatever you can think of. They have thought of it already in these think tanks, right? It's crazy. Right? Right? I mean, it goes into all of this. Yes or no? Have you done this? Have you done this? Protect your website. Whoa. Look here, www.assista.gov/topic/election security /protection. Protect your website. Come on. Is the election network segmented from other businesses' units by utilizing a firewall? Is internal network traffic monitored for malicious traffic using an endpoint detection? Is your network traffic protected from routing to known malicious sites? Do you have a cybersecurity incident response plan, and have you practiced using it? Do you maintain offline encrypted backups of your critical systems and data for a minimum of 30 days? Are you kidding me? 30 days? Have you recently practiced restoring from your data backups? Do you have cyber hygiene vulnerability scanning that identifies internet-facing vulnerabilities? Do you have a patch management program in place to enable you to close known or identified vulnerabilities and configuration errors quickly, 15 days or less? This is your cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, Election Infrastructure, Cybersecurity Readiness and Resilient Checklist. This is your federal government getting involved in this. They're not supposed to be. Not at all. There is rules against this right here, and that shouldn't be happening. When this all goes down the road, down south, and we repeat the process that we did in 2020, and they come back and tell us there's no remedy, and we ask to see CISA, they're not going to help. They're not going to be transparent the way that we all believe they are, right? So So that's election, infrastructure, cybersecurity, readiness, and resilience checklist. How about this one? Physical security checklist for election offices. Okay. And once again, from our favorite agency, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. An introduction all over again. What's that introduction? Ensuring a secure and resilient election process is vital national interest and one of the highest priorities for CISA. And here's the checklist. Much like the other checklist, they send these to those people that care, you know. And do you care? I care. I never got one of these in the email. Did you get one of these in the email? Pretty sure you could sign up for bulletins like these, but I'm not sure you're going to get them as quickly as they do. Have you established a facility security plan for your office that addresses key tasks for maintaining office security? Like implementing policies for securing exterior doors and windows, securing sensitive areas within the facility, utilization of a facility alarm system, and observation of parking areas. Implement a "if you see something, say something" public awareness campaign. Have you developed other plans to support secure and resilient election operations? Established an incident response plan. An incident response plan, a response communication playbook. A continuity of operations plan. That's a coup. Heard that before? Have you established procedures for handling suspicious mail packages to include potential bomb threats? Prepare an area for safe mail handling. Have personnel protective equipment available. Any of you out there got bomb protective equipment on hand? Right here. Election mail handling procedures to protect against hazardous materials. Bomb threat guide. Bomb threat checklist. Have you coordinated with emergency responders in your jurisdiction? Talk through your facility security and incident response plans with emergency responders ahead of time. Provide emergency responders with a list or a map of election infrastructure locations to include temporary voting locations. Work with emergency responders. Have you worked with emergency responders to mitigate potential risks from hoax incidences like swatting or fake bomb threats targeting election facilities during the voting period? Do you have mechanisms in place to facilitate receiving and sharing threat information? Do you conduct spot checks both during and after business hours to make sure security procedures are being implemented? Are point of entry and sensitive locations or assets monitored by security cameras or intrusion detections? Are fixed and or portable panic buttons in use? Are procedures in place to control visitor entry? Ensure facility security plan enacts procedures of full accountability of visitors, implementing sign in, sign out. Prevent visitors from entering through unauthorized entry accesses. Implement mechanisms to inform other employees of the presence of a visitor. Do ground floor windows and large glass entry doors have privacy measures? Install contact or privacy film on ground floor glass doors and windows. What's that sound like? To obscure outside visibility. Contact or privacy film can be purchased from your local hardware store. If you're a local hardware store, don't sell them any of this stuff. If altering building windows is not possible, then apply window treatments or curtains. If allowable, consider prohibiting parking next to the election office. Are physical barriers present in front of entrances to mitigate high-speed avenues of approach or unimpeded straight-line paths? Fire extinguishers pre-positioned in sensitive locations, like you're going to throw fire on you. Ballot drop boxes located in well-lit, continuously monitored areas. Know how to report cyber or physical security incidents to relevant state or local authorities. And resources. All these people right here that they want you to call or be a part or have a part of your program. They're giving these people the instructions to make sure that when this goes down, how to secure where they are, to make sure that people don't get rowdy. That right there should throw red flags everywhere. On a cybersecurity level, and then on a physical, kinetic level. Cover up the windows. If you, I mean, curtains. Do all kinds of things. Go well beyond and out of your way to make sure that you cover your ass so that if and when it is time to cheat, we got those measures covered. I guess the only saving grace in all of this would be that CISA is part of it, and everything they touch turns to shit, right? So maybe it's a total failure in the end. There's another way to game theory that, right? I mean, if you think about everything that CISA gets involved in that gets destroyed, look at the bridge, the Scott Key Bridge. These pipelines from all these hackers. Just there's all kinds of stories out there that have the facts to verify that when CISA got involved, these things happened and it wasn't as protected because CISA was involved as prior to. They would have you believe that it is protected, but it's not necessarily the same way. And I'm not saying that this agency should be abolished in some way or another when the time is right, unless it's absolutely necessary. But it's messed up that they play a heavy role in making sure that the government's ass is covered for when they steal, however they do it, whatever version you can think of, and whatever, just whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever. Okay. All right, this right here is the FBI, and it's their press release. I wonder what does it give a time? Does not. But all this did was they repeat, washed and rinsed, just like everything else. It's the same thing that we just read a minute ago from CISA specifically. They just did like Kamala and Joe and copied and pasted. The FBI did. This right here. Same thing, same. Same thing. But we don't get those kinds of bulletins. These press releases, these are going out to news outlet agencies. They're not necessarily going to residential. I mean, you might be able to sign up and get it, but I guarantee you ain't getting it as fast as New York Times, Washington Post, all these others out there like that at all. So yeah, that is a big problem for me. I don't like all these agencies, these government agencies involved in things that they probably shouldn't have their hands in at all, but they do. And so there's ways to battle these things. So next on our agenda here, my agenda, look there, FBI. I just showed that a minute ago. We just did that in real time though, didn't we? All right, so how about this right here? This is the Epoch Times Georgia elections. Second, guys. All right, guys. Sorry. I had to refill my drink. I'll get it together soon, I promise. When I get into the new little house here in a few weeks, it may take me a few days to get my little room set up in the studio. Won't have many decorations, but I'll have my little, I got my laptop, my monitor, have a microphone and all that, and get the attachment set up so it's either hanging down or hanging from the side or whatever. And you plug your earbuds into that, and then so like now I got the monitor here and the laptop there, so up until this week I did everything on the laptop. I would have to have all the information here and the split screen while carrying on, and, which in the beginning was amazing because I went from my phone to a laptop, so it kind of grew. And then I started doing a little bit more research because I got to understanding that some of these things were being done with 2 or 3 monitors. Apparently you can have another monitor, so if I have another monitor over there along with the one that's over here, laptop in the middle, and be doing all this right here, right? So I don't know why I'm going to share it, but once, like I said, once I get into the little house and the background changes here, and different noises probably, that kind of stuff, maybe quieter. Yeah, looking forward to it. So we'll get it all together right now. So let's get into this Georgia thing. Georgia State Election Boards passes rule requiring hand count of ballot at precinct level. Now, what's a big deal here is they fought hard. Georgia's governor, Hang on. Calling Gavin Newsom. That's California's governor. Damn it. Does it even tell his name in here? Anyway, he decided to endorse Trump and then turns around and goes after his election board, or wants to know if he can go after his election board so that he can remove their, basically the power that they got. And right here's why. Because in this article, it's huge, right? So just show you a little bit. Watch this right here. So you got that one right there, right? Epoch Times Georgia Election Board approves rule requiring hand count of ballots, right? And you go to this one here. This one's the Guardian. Remember? An echo chamber. And an echo chamber, according to Wikipedia, and when you look it up, all these left-leaning outlets, is that it's something biased. Anyway, but here's the Guardian. So this echo chamber is not biased. It's not biased at all. He wants to show it all. So this one here was Epoch Times. We got the Guardian, which is this one right here, huge. This one here's Gateway Pundit. What's this? The Hill. So there's 4. 2 and 2, 50-50, right? Yeah, 50-50. Epoch, Guardian. So you got Epoch, which is center right. Guardian, which is center left, probably way left. Then you got Gateway Pundit, which is right. And then you got the Hill, which is left, way left. So an echo chamber, according to their definition, that's not who Caught Up is. That's not what Resolute exposure is all about. I just had to throw that in there. But isn't that amazing? All these other outlets out here, right? Everybody's got something to say about this election thing. Look, Guardian says Trump aligned. Georgia Election Board votes 3-2. Trump aligned. They did this with the attempted assassination too of. They did this with Trump here just last week on this golf course. He's doing all these things to himself. You know, I don't think so. Don't think so. But they are helping him run his campaign. I think it's brilliant, right? It's absolutely brilliant. So here we go. Brian Lupo wrote this article through the Gateway Pundit. Brian Lupo is also Badlands Media Daily CanCon, and also in Why We Vote, and also SitRep. And there may be another show he's a part of. I'm not maybe sure or not sure, but you can find him on Badlands Media. Brian Lupo. All right, guys. That's what I like right here. This is in a big one today. The Georgia State Election Board passed Resolution 181 by count 3-2. The resolution simply requires the hand counting of physical paper ballots at the precinct level to ensure it matches the total reported by the tabulator, meaning that the paper count matches the electronic count, right? This does not involve hand count tabulation of the vote totals, but rather simply the total number of physical ballots cast at particular precincts. This is a welcome rule in Georgia after several issues arose during the municipal election in Tennessee in 2021, the state that I'm from. There are ample evidence that the same issues discovered in Tennessee may have plagued the Georgia 2020 election, the Gateway Pundit has previously reported. And if you look and you see that blue right there, see how I make it light up? See that line? Make that line light up right there? Yep. You go to that and it'll take you to the article it's talking about. And then it has an actual video of this you can watch on X. Following the 2020 general election, Williamson County, Tennessee reported an anomaly in their vote tabulation to EAC via the Tennessee Secretary of State's office. The anomaly was discovered when the election worker counted the physical paper ballots from their October 2021 municipal election and realized that the number of ballots hand counted did not match the number of ballots scanned on 7 out of the 18 tabulators. This led to an investigation by the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, the EAC, that could not conclusively pinpoint the direct cause of the anomaly. The EAC, in conjunction with Dominion Voting, investigated, and in February 2022, Dominion submitted a root cause analysis to the EAC. The EAC's final report noted that the erroneous code is present in the EAC Certified D Suite 5.5-B and 5.5-C systems. It carries on to what that is. Clay Preek had something to say about that, I'm sure. During the testing and analysis, it was discovered that the audit log information revealed entries that coincided with the manifestation of the anomaly, security error, QR code signature mismatch, and the warning message, ballot format or ID is unrecognizable, indicating that a QR code misread occurred. This caused the ballot to be rejected, the EAC states in their report. When the anomaly was triggered on the 7 tabulators in Williamson County, Tennessee, it did not reflect the proper vote count and in the close poll tapes compared to the actual physical count. The same QR code signature mismatch in ballot format or ID is unrecognizable. The error code was also found in 64 out of 66 counties in Georgia, all but 2. Now, while I don't pretend to understand and know everything that they're saying, what I do know is that the math didn't add up. Whatever the paper ballot was, it didn't match up to the tabulator that the paper ballot was fed into. It was spit out an error code. And the error code, I don't know if these went to an adjudication. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Where it went to somebody that actually tried to figure out who and what your vote was. All these system errors, I mean, and it shows it. I mean, it absolutely shows right here. It's evidence. These are court documents here, see? Gwinnett County, 84 instances of error in Williamson errors. It's Tennessee. Georgia, 107, that county. Additionally, several counties in Georgia discovered additional ballots that were not reflected in the original tabulation during their November 16th hand recount. It goes on to talk about where they did that there. Look at all the masks people are wearing, what they have on, you know. Here are 2 witness experts that testified about the rule today at the Georgia State Election Board hearing. And guys, you can go find that and see that logo there. That little logo is CanCon. Article's done. It amazes me at what lengths they'll go to try to discredit the truth or to cover their ass or their lies or whatever. But this is exactly what we need. You know who says stuff like that pretty good? Oh, Chris Paul, man. He does well with things.
Well, post. I mean, Donald Trump didn't lose in 2020. He didn't concede. The inauguration and everything that was shown on television is a farce and a mess. This period, I think all three of us agree, and probably the vast majority of our audience agrees that this period is happening so that the country could avoid civil war. And that means that something is being waited for. And I think what's being waited for, and Burning Bright talks about this probably more than anyone should ever talk about it, is the public mandate from the American people. And so to the extent that there is an election and we go through the motions of that on November 5th, that is meant to be a statement of public mandate. And maybe by that point, we have reached the understanding that kind of everyone around us agrees that it's Trump. And all the people who hated Trump are, by that point, understanding, oh, yeah, it's obviously Trump.
No one says it better. The public mandate is Trump. It's by we the people. It was that way in 2020. It's even greater this time in 2024. And pretty good stuff right there, right? So we go over CISA, get into their shenanigans again, and how they just got their hands in too much. The elections, everything. I mean, there are prior shows I've done on CISA. We go into detail about exactly what they do. All I'm doing is updating the things that they've done here recently so that we can prepare for what the inevitable is that Trump wins the election, but they do everything they can to try to prove that he didn't win the election and that they don't allow him to take his spot in the office in which he was elected to be in. And so that excites me. It's why I share the content that I do. It is why I try to explain to people that we are living in a great time because of history, or we are making history because we are correcting the wrong. Hopefully. That's what I believe what we're doing. It's a lot of people that I follow and listen to that I share all their stuff on here believe exactly the same way. So I hope you enjoyed the content with CISA. I hope you understand how big of a deal it is what Georgia did. I hope that you know that they're going to go through everything. I mean, they tried to assassinate our former president twice. They've attempted it twice now. It's not a conspiracy theory, folks. It's fact. So on 2 occasions, he's been shot at, or what? Let me say this: on one occasion that we know we watched live, he was shot at in the ear. The second occasion, I don't know if it was a shot fired or not. I know they fired a shot back. I know that they caught an individual they claim who was a part of the failed attempted assassination of our former President Donald Trump. So we only have the information that they allow us to have, right? And yeah, so that's crazy. So what more will they do to make sure that he doesn't get back in the house that's in D.C.? It's pretty horrible. Pretty damn horrible. All right, let's go to some caught up content, which usually means a dilly meme or some crap like that, right?
Yes, Brian?
Right. Crap like that, right?
Yes, Brian?
Here we go. Enjoy.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound up, watch old bandit run. Old Smokey's got them ears on, he's hot on your trail. He ain't gonna rest till you're in jail. So you got to dodge him, you got to duck him, you gotta keep that diesel trucking. Just put that hammer down and give it hell. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound up, watch old bandit run.
Man, the Dilly Meme team, them guys are great. I like them. Hope you enjoy them too. That's why I share it.
Sometimes, when I try to understand a person's motives, I play a little game. I assume the worst. What's the worst reason they could possibly have for saying what they say and doing what they do? Then I ask myself, how well does that reason explain what they say and what they do? Fight every battle, everywhere, always. In your mind, everyone is your enemy. Everyone is your friend. Every possible series of events is happening all at once. Live that way, and nothing will surprise you. Everything that happens will be something that you've seen before. Every time I'm faced with a decision, I close my eyes and see the same picture. Whenever I consider an action, I ask myself, will this action help to make this picture a reality? Pull it out of my mind and into the world. And I only act if the answer is yes.
A little bit deeper there. If you watch it more than once, maybe you can find some understanding in some of the things that they are saying in there. But it's true. It is very much true, some of the things that were said in that part of it. So let's see. Pretty sure that's most of the show. I want to get into about the CISA, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency in our elections. I want you guys to be prepared. If you're anything like me, you should be voting the day of, not giving them any extra time to manipulate the vote as they already do. None whatsoever. And watching out, you know what I mean? Watch your vote, protect your vote. Not the same way they're talking about Protect 2024 and all that. I'm talking about legitimately. You can't vote any harder or any less than you already are. So once you walk out of there, you really can't protect it anymore. You're believing in the people there that are doing that. But so anyway, we'll finish up what's left of this video right here with Trump, and then we'll get out of here. And you guys enjoy your evening.
It's great. I want to ask you, so Kamala Harris and the President Joe Biden. If he's still president, we don't know. They called you after you were you got shot at, and to wish you well, to say all these nice things.
They did.
But they're the same people that moments before say you're a threat to democracy, an existential threat, worse than Hitler. Does that mean that everything they say is full of?
Well, you know, both of the shooters, one is dead and the other one is in prison. And it was really great work, again, by Secret Service. And a woman who saw somebody running and running for the car because he was caught, and the Secret Service agent started shooting at him, didn't do any talking, said just, that's a barrel of a gun, started shooting, which was amazing. That he saw it, and then he started shooting. And so this man is running to the car, and a woman is a woman, of course. Woman's always a woman, right?
We just found out, yeah.
No, but think about that. How smart. Who would do this? She sees somebody running, and she didn't like the way he looked. He looked very suspicious, and followed him and took the car, parked it right behind his, and started taking pictures of the license plate. Who would do that?
A Karen.
And then sent the picture to the sheriff, who's a great sheriff of Palm Beach County, and sent the pictures to the sheriff's office, and they got him in a high-speed chase down the highway.
Yeah.
But who would do that? I mean, I said, out of 1,000 incidents, would that ever happen? And they said, very rarely, a thing like that. So she's very much of a heroine, right? Heroine.
Yeah. You know, it blows my mind, like how you take these events so, not lightly, but it's almost casually. The way, like, I get more angry, you know, when my pant pocket gets caught on a doorknob. I get angrier about that than you get angry about getting shot at. It doesn't. How do you process that?
Well, number one, do I have a choice?
Yeah.
Right? What am I gonna do? Right?
Yeah.
Do we have a choice? But you know, it's interesting. I was thinking a lot about it over the last period of time since Butler, and being president is a very dangerous job, because with a race car driver, it's a dangerous job. It's like 0.1% die. With a bull rider, I think bull riding looks pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than that die. With a president, what is it, 6% or 7%? It's the most dangerous profession there is. So if you want to be president, I have a lot of friends that wanted to run. They're thinking about maybe not doing it. But here's the only good thing is that it's always a consequential president that gets shot at. And fortunately, so far, I've been very lucky. Or something is greater than all of us.
Ooh.
It is. Look, everything you heard about me is true.
Something is up there. Someone is up there, maybe watching over us.
I think he's voting for you.
Yeah. It's funny. I always thought the most dangerous job was feeding The View. But you bring up God. You bring up God, and you've almost been killed twice. Do you think more about your own mortality and what happens after you move on?
Yeah, not about mortality, but I do think more about God, because, okay, Butler was really the greatest of all miracles. If I'm not looking over there, and I mean a full turn, exactly 90 degrees, I wouldn't be here right now, and your ratings would be a little bit lower, perhaps.
Yeah. We'd have Kilmeade there.
We have to tell the story of how we first met. The ratings over. Remember that one week he just played that thing, but I do think about that because the chart. It was basically an immigration chart. We had our lowest numbers that we've ever had in immigration, and I very rarely use it, maybe 15, 20%. It's always on my left, and it's always at the end of a speech. So now I said, bring down the chart right at the very beginning, almost like the first sentence of the speech. Bring down that chart, because immigration's such a big thing now with, you know, our country being basically taken over by Venezuela and lots of other people. So I said, bring down the chart, and the chart drops down, and I go, look at those numbers, and I look over to the right, and ping, and that was not, I knew something was definitely wrong, and it was a mess. I touched, I said, that's unusual.
Remember when you showed it to me?
I showed it?
Yeah, you showed it to me. You said, I know people aren't going to believe this, so Gutfeld, take a look at my ear.
That's right. You know, we met in at the convention.
Yeah.
And I said, who am I going to show it to? You know, we have a lot of guys. You know, they'll say it didn't exist. And I actually did have such confidence in him, and he's really a very special guy, talented guy, good guy, great guy. And I said, you know, if I'm going to show it, let's do it with Gutfeld.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Because it happened right after.
Yeah, how did you get him to see the top of your ear?
Well, I sat in a low chair.
Okay, thank you.
But you know what? It was true. And I took the bandages off very carefully.
Yeah.
And I showed him. He said, "That's nasty."
Yes.
That was nasty. But it
I
healed
kind of
up.
wanted to touch it, but I knew I would have been tackled. And I would have enjoyed it. But it's interesting to see the response to this second attempt. Every time you're under a bigger threat, the media still blames you even more.
Yes.
It's almost as though they don't see their own role in this. What do you make? Have you just basically accepted this as a fact?
I think so, yeah. Look, the media is extremely dishonest, extremely corrupt, actually. Look at the debate. I walked off, I said, that's debate. You know, they said I'm the GOAT in debates, because I had a lot of debates, and I became president. And the GOAT means greatest of all time. He's a GOAT. But I said, what a great stage. And I walked off that stage, and I thought I had the best debate. And I was very unfairly treated by the anchor. I'm not fans of those guys anymore. And his hair was better 5 years ago than it is now. Okay? That happens. That happens with the clock.
I mean, who among us?
That happens with the clock. But, you know, they came at me on everything like crime.
Yeah.
I said, the crime is rampant. He said, crime is down. I said, crime is down? Who would think it's... Without even knowing, and I was right. The following day, DOJ announced numbers. I don't know who it was in DOJ, but somebody over there likes me. That crime is up 45%, murders up, numbers like you wouldn't even believe. And anybody would know that without even seeing charts. But it turned out to be a false attack. They attacked the bloodbath. That was referring to the auto industry. You know all these things.
Yeah.
Charlottesville was totally debunked by everybody, including Laura. Laura did a whole show on it, how it's so ridiculous.
And even Snopes, which is a left-wing
That's right.
site.
They even said.
Yeah.
But all of them, and they didn't correct her once, and they corrected me everything I said practically. And I think 9 times or 11 times. And the audience was absolutely, they went crazy. And the real, I thought it was, I walked off, I said, that was a great debate. I loved it. You know, you got a lot of people watch. I guess we had 75 million people watching, something like that. And you have to do well. You can't do badly. For instance, Biden didn't do so well in the previous debate because I had the 2 debates. I had one, we actually had 2 debates. You know, I had one against a man, and then they said, he's not doing well, take him out, put in a new one. And if she doesn't do well, I wonder if they're going to take her out. Just keep putting her. Let's see if we can get it right eventually. No, but a thing like that's never happened.
Time for an oil change. Philip, that last place took 3 hours. Little Henry remembers, right, Little Henry?
It's never, you know, it's like a fighter. He knows more about fighting, but I love the fighting. We love Dana White, all those guys. Dana is great.
Well, your history in boxing is second to none.
I've had more Mike Tyson fights than anybody. Yep. Mike is great, and they're all great. And they're, you know, amazing people, really. It's a very hard thing to be a fighter. Number one, you have to be able to take hundreds of shots to the face within a couple of rounds and enjoy going out for the 5th round.
Yes.
You know, there aren't a lot of guys. A lot of great athletes have tried to be fighters. It doesn't work out so well. Very rarely does it work out. But this was something that was a very special moment. I thought this was a tremendous debate. And when you look at it, you know, it's interesting. Now that they're reviewing it, it was all word salad from her. The first question, I said, what kind of an answer is that? But the fake news said, oh, she did well. No matter what you do, if I were Winston Churchill, he was a great debater, by the way, and an elegant debater, if I were Winston Churchill, they would say, well, he was okay, but he wasn't special tonight. That was the kind of stuff.
You were exactly the same as the previous debate. That's what, if you look at it, there was... I think so. Yeah, there was no difference.
I actually wanted that attitude. You know, I've had different attitudes, right? Yeah. And you never know about debate. It's a little like Mike Tyson said. He said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And there's a lot of truth to that, right?
No, I mean, you walked in, you caught 3 before you even said hello to you.
Well, I mean, I had people telling me that I'm wrong about things where I'm totally right. I was right about just about all of that stuff, that they were correcting me. And I think my only regret is that I wanted to be elegant, and I didn't want to go after the anchors. I wish I did, in a way.
Well, that's our job. We took care of them. We got
All right, we got to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with more from the future president.
Pretty amazing. I mean, I like it. I mean, you can watch the rest of it. You can find it wherever you want. Go to Twitter, X. Matters not to me, right? So, my job was just to share that. And that's amazing what the president has to say. When we started this, when I started this program earlier, a little while ago, a couple hours, almost 2 hours ago, I talked about all the different venues he's been a part of, the podcasts and the different areas he's reaching out to as far as, I don't know if demographic of people is the right word to say, but that's what I'm going to use. But anyway, that's amazing. And he is. He's podcasting the crap. I mean, like I said, you know, you can watch it on just about any outlet now. So, all right, guys, we did CISA in a little more detail than we did the Georgia election thing. I just wanted to show you that how echo chamber we are. We are absolutely opposite of their definition. I am, and then we did a little bit of caught up content with the daily memes, and we finished the 12-minute interview. And there's more. You're just gonna have to go find it. And so we're gonna leave, and leave like I always do. If you got a family, hug them and love them, man. Got a wife, kids, grandkids, whatever it is, parents, whatever it is, man. Whatever you're enjoying in life. Got a wife, kids, put your arms around them, and don't let this stuff get to you. But stay caught up in what's going on. Don't just be blind to it either. And enjoy the stuff. So enjoy life. Life is so much better when you're surrounded with the people you love, right? So make sure you take care of that. Y'all have a good day. I will see you soon. We'll have a show Tuesday. I know we didn't have one this Tuesday. Just trying to get things together, though. Better things to come for sure. Have a good evening.
Caught Up is an echo chamber for content creators. Almost all content on this show, Caught Up, is created by citizen journalists. I share content created by citizen journalists whom I believe to be the best at finding facts buried deep into the abyss, or outlets whom I believe to be the best for verifiable information. We have to operate within their system, and we only have the information they allow us to have. These individuals who nerd out on fact-finding missions and then add their opinion to better inform me, to make the best choice for me, in this war of narratives is Resolute. This information war is a battle for your mind and ultimately compliance. Mainstream media would have you believe that an echo chamber promotes the spread of misleading information or fake news, thereby reinforcing one's confirmation bias. So, I am excited to share the content in hopes you will turn off mainstream media, whom I believe is just another version of entertainment. So again, welcome to Caught Up.
My heart, pumping all day long. Get me the morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. bear it. It takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart, pumping all day long. When the evening comes, please stay strong. Give me the morning when darkness falls. My heart, I found victory in the Father from the day we wed, and those vows to hold, to rule. Nothing's gonna turn down until the day of the end. My heart belongs to you. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of.